An 8 kg wagon is pulled by a force of 20 newtons at an angle of 40 degrees above the horizontal. Determine wagon's acceleration. So to be able to determine the acceleration, we are saying we need to get the component that is going in the direction of the movement. This object will not be able to move up. It is going to be going where? Forward. So when you look at this force, it's going to be broken into components. The x component and also the y component, because it is given at an angle. Whenever you've got a force applied at an angle, you always have x component and y component. X component is given by f cos theta. The force we applied is 20, cos the angle is 40. This is going to give us 15.32 newtons. The y component is always given by force sin theta, and that is going to be 20 sin 40, and this is going to give us 12.86 newtons. So to be able to find the acceleration of the object, force, Newton's second law of motion, is given by mass times acceleration. So the force is the component that is going in the direction of movement. So this object will be able to move forward, and that component is the x component. So that is going to be 15.32, and that will be equal to the mass of the object is 8 multiplied by the acceleration. Divide both sides by 8. That will give us about 1.915 meters per second squared. So this is going to be the acceleration of this object. The next question is saying find the reaction force the ground exerts on the wagon. So because this thing has got a weight force, the weight force is going down, mg. The ground is going to be exerting a force. In other words, the force exerted by the ground is simply the normal force on the object. Okay, or the reaction force, we can call it R, but it's just the normal force. Now how can we find this reaction force? So we're going to now look at the net forces in the y direction, because we're talking about the ground. So look at the forces which are pointed in the up direction. We have got R. We also have what? We have got also Fy. What forces are pointed down? We only have mg, and that is going to carry a negative side because it's going down. The other forces are going up. Because this object wasn't moving up or down, the net force is going to be equal to 0. This is going to be 0 is equal to a reaction force plus Fy. We can see Fy, we found 12.86 minus mgm is 8, g is 9.8. So here we are going to find 0 being equal to r plus 12.86, 8 multiplied by 9.8, that was 78.4. We are going to subtract this. 12 minus 78, the answer is going to be negative, but that negative value, we're going to take it the other side so that we remain with r is going to give us 65.5 newtons. Are we good? Is that okay? Okay, we have got two blocks here, A and B, which are in contact on a frictionless surface, and they've got masses 2 kg and 4 kg. A force of 2 newtons is applied to block A. Now the question is, what force does block A exert on block B? So you have got two blocks, A and B, like this. B is bigger than A from what you've been. Now they've told us a force 2 newtons is applied on A here. So the question is, what force does block A exert on block B? So before finding the force that block A is going to exert onto block B, we first need to find the acceleration of these two blocks, because when you apply a force, they are going to start moving. And force is given by mass multiplied by the acceleration. The applied force here is total, and that will be equal to mass. So since these two are in contact, they are going to move with the same acceleration, and so we're going to add their masses. So 2 kg plus 4 kg, that is going to be 6, and then multiply by the acceleration. So divide both sides by 6. The acceleration is going to be, okay, this force is not 2. I wasn't just able to see. That's a 12. So I dividing both sides by a 6. That is going to give us 2 meters per second squared. This is the acceleration of the objects. Now I want to find the force that is a force on block A. So this block A is going to exert a force on block B. Okay. So how do we find that? Again, use the same formula. Force is given by mass multiplied by the acceleration. Now what block A is going to exert on block B. So this is going to be force is equal to mass. What force are we which object are we exerting a force on? So we want,
So the force is going to be equal to 8 pounds. According to Newton's third law of motion, the forces are in opposite directions but with the same magnitude. And then for B, saying if the same force is applied on block B, what force does block B exert on A? So if we applied in this direction, what force will block B exert on A? So even if we apply in the direction of the system, is going to be still the same because the masses are going to still add up to 6 if you add them. So you